Hello and welcome to It's Beginning to Look a Bot Like Christmas. Now, it's only fair to warn you at this stage, there will be more terrible puns and some pretty awful Christmas cracker jokes later on. Okay, disclaimer done. I'm Keith Atherton and I've been a software developer for over 20 years working in the UK and US, mostly with Microsoft technologies such as .NET, C#, SQL Server, and I'm currently learning more about Azure. A big thank you to everyone who organised this excellent Festive Tech Calendar 2021 event, particularly Gregor Sutty and Richard Hooper, who do awesome work in the community. Their Twitter channels are on screen now. And a special thank you to you for joining me here today. In this talk, we'll look at some cool Azure services, specifically Azure Q&A Maker, which enables you to create and publish a knowledge base with built-in natural language processing capabilities, and the Azure Bot service, which provides a framework for developing, publishing and managing bots on Azure. We'll use these services to create a web-hosted bot which answers Festive related questions. So this talk is all about the demo, so let's ditch these slides and dive right in. First off, go to qnamaker.ai in a browser and sign in using the Microsoft account associated with your Azure subscription. The Q&A Maker service is a cognitive service in Azure that enables you to quickly create a knowledge base, and for our demo we'll do this to create a knowledge base with our Festive related trivia. So in the Q&A Maker portal, select Create a Knowledge Base. We'll then get this wizard to take us through everything. So first off, step one, we need to create a Q&A service, so we'll click on this. This will now take us to the Azure portal. So this is where we're going to create the resource for the Q&A service. So going through the options here, subscription for me is pay as you go. Resource group, I'm actually going to create a new one here. So let's call it Festive Tech Calendar 2021. Resource group location, I'll choose somewhere closer to me. I'm in the UK, so I will go with UK South. The name for the service, I'll go with Festive Tech Calendar Q&A. Under pricing tier, we will go for the free one. That's all we need in this case. And then scrolling down to the Azure search details, we'll go for the, again for me, I'll go with the UK South again. That's closer to me. Pricing tier, I'll just go for the free one. And app service details for runtime, we'll leave the app name as FTC Q&A, but I'll change the location again, somewhere closer to myself, so UK South. And you do have the ability for app insights as well, as it says, for telemetry and for chat logs. Worth a thought with production, but for this demo, we'll disable that. That's not something we need. So I'll go ahead and disable. And then I will click review and create. Everything's looking good. We'll go ahead and create. To save time, I've skipped over the deployment, which took around 1 minute for me. So next we're going to go back to the tab with the Q&A Maker. We're going to scroll down to step 2, and this is where we connect the Q&A service to the knowledge base. So we click on refresh to then refresh the options and find the new Q&A service. So for Microsoft Azure Directory ID, I'll leave that as default. Azure subscription name, I will select pay as you go. And now under Azure Q&A service, we should see the new Q&A service that we've created, which we do. So we'll go ahead and select that. Great, that's loaded. Sometimes it can take a few minutes for the endpoints to be created, so you may get a message at that stage. Next, we'll select the language, and for this, we'll go for English. Great. Now, scrolling down to step 3, name the knowledge base. We'll go ahead and call it Festive KB. We'll move on to step 4. So this is populating the knowledge base. So just as it says there, we want question and answer pairs. It's typically FAQ format. And when we select this, we can populate the knowledge base. There's a few options, so we can choose a URL here. So you can point to an FAQ hosted on a website, and it will go ahead and scrape all the question and answer pairs and put them in the knowledge base. Today we're actually going to use a file, so we're going to click on this, add file. Now the file we're going to choose is one that I've prepared earlier, so I'll just go ahead and open that one up. And it's this one just here, so it's just full of Christmas and festive trivia. You can see a few things here, and again, just based on this document format, the system's smart enough to read this and pull all that data in for us. So we'll go ahead and select that file, and when we scroll further down, we also have a chit chat option. This is really cool. You can either select none, or you can give it somewhat of a personality by choosing professional, friendly, or so on. Again, it depends what you need this chatbot for. One may be more appropriate than another. In this case, we'll choose friendly. Now, when you choose one of these options, it does actually come with a lot of predefined question and answer responses. So things, small talk, chit chat things, and it can be really cool. And we'll look at that a bit later on as well. So moving on to step 5, final step, we'll go ahead and create the knowledge base. So we'll go ahead and click that. Again, to save time, I've skipped over this process. It took around 30 seconds, and now we can see the knowledge base has been populated. We have all the questions and answers from the Festive FAQ document right here. We can see the questions on the left, and on the right hand side we can see our answers. And we can see there are other options as well. So for the questions we can add alternative phrasing. With the answers we can add follow-up prompts, and if we want to remove an entry, we have delete buttons on the right hand side as well. If we wish to manually add question and answer pairs as well, we can click ahead on this button right here, and we'll add something here. Let's see, which reindeer has a red nose, and we'll give it the answer of Rudolph, and just click off there. So we've added an entry manually now, which is a good option. Another thing we can notice as well, these pages in the knowledge base, most of these pages are actually the predefined entries from the chit chat that we looked at earlier. So when we pick the friendly chit chat, I'll just go ahead and click on one of these now. I don't know, I'll move to page 3. Here we go, so we can see the source for this is the Q&A chit chat, because I selected friendly, and again there was professional and many others in there too. So these are the kind of small talk chit chat responses we've got, and we can do a test later on to see that these work. So let's see, do you have a boss? The answer is I'm here for you. You can see there's several questions here that have the same response, and the same on the follow-up pages as well. So now that we've got the knowledge base all up to date, we can go ahead and test it in the in this portal. So what we're going to do is first go to Save and Train. This shouldn't take too long based on the amount of data in the knowledge base. Great, that's it all done. Now we're ready to test. We can test in the portal by clicking this test button right here. You can see it's opened up a window right here where we're good to go, good to give it a shot. So let's just say hi. Okay, we're getting a response from the chatbot, which is great. So we'll go ahead and test with one of the Q&A pairs. In this case, maybe just the one I added manually. So which reindeer has a red nose? And very quickly it comes back with the answer we expect, which is Rudolph. A really cool feature in this as well is when you click on the inspect button right here, you actually get the breakdown of how it shows that answer. So the question going in, the answer just here, the correct answer that we were expecting, and we can see a confidence score, which is really handy. So because I used the same exact wording, we could see 100 here for the confidence score. What I'll do is go ahead and ask the same question, but I'll just use different wording. Let's see, who is the red-nosed reindeer? Thinking away, and again it comes back with the answer we expect of Rudolph. So I'll go ahead and inspect this particular answer. Again, question going in, answer coming out as Rudolph. We can see the confidence score is very high, but it's just under 100%, it's 98. This is probably because of the different wording, but it's still close enough that it could give us the answer we need. And this is one of the benefits of the natural language processing, is that you don't need the exact wording. You know, it can be similar, it can be worded a different way, you know, the other way around, and it can still give us the answers that we need. So that test is all done. We'll go ahead and click test to remove the testing pane. And what we need to do now is to make this knowledge base available to a bot. We must publish it as a service that can be accessed over HTTP. So we'll go ahead and click on publish. Great, and we're good to go ahead and click publish here too. And what we'll do now is use the Azure bot service to create and host a bot that uses the knowledge base to answer user questions. So great, that's been deployed. We'll go ahead and click on create bot. This is going to jump us back to the Azure portal again, where all our resources are. Great. So for the web app bot, we have a lot of options here. We'll leave mostly defaults. So we have a bot handle, subscriptions correct, the resource group I'll keep the same. I'll change the location again. I'll pick somewhere closer to myself. So let's see, what do we have? UK South. Pricing tier, I'll just go with F0, that will be good enough. We've got an app name. We do have an SDK language, so with bots you can actually take a copy of the code, customize it, make changes if you wish, and you've got the choice of C# or Node.js. We won't be looking at that today, but I'll just leave default as C#. We have a Q&A auth key. We can leave the rest of these as defaults and go ahead and click create. Again, to save time, I've skipped over the deployment. It took around 1 minute. So we're going to click on go to resource. And now we've got the web app bot resource, and we're on the overview page, and we can see a few options right here. So we can download the bot source code. This is something we mentioned in passing earlier, where you can actually download the bot source code, and using C# or JavaScript you can actually customize it and make changes if you wish. We won't look into that today, but it's a cool option. The other option we can do, we can actually test the bot in a web chat, so we'll go ahead and click on this. Great. So the web chat has opened up in this frame right here. We can see the web app bot has actually started the conversation with hello and welcome. So we're going to go ahead and give this a test. Now, something from the Q&A that we fed in was who was the author of A Christmas Carol? Let's give that a shot. Great. So we get Charles Dickens, which is what we expect. And again, with things like natural language processing, one of the benefits is we don't need the exact wording. We can come up with a slightly different wording, but we do expect the same answer. So let's try that now. We'll try, let's see, who wrote A Christmas Carol? Great. And we get the same answer again, which is what we expect. Now, when we was looking at the knowledge base, we also had those predefined chit-chat responses for the small talk. So I'll go ahead and try one of those now, which was, I think one of them was, who is your boss? I'm here for you. Yep, that's the one. That's exactly what we expect. Okay, great. Let's give this another test while we have it open. So let's see, what is the best Christmas present in the world? A broken drum. You just can't beat it. Yeah. Okay, so moving on. Let's ask it a bigger question. I mean, let's take full advantage of this chatbot. Let's see, what could we ask? A big question. Okay, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes, of course. Okay, well, that seems conclusive. So what we'll do is we'll go back to the overview. Great. So we've done the web chat test. Now the other option is you can publish this to Azure, and you've got various channels. So what we'll do is on the left hand side we'll click on channels. Now the really cool thing with this is that with this bot we can actually go ahead and publish this to Alexa, Facebook Messenger, Microsoft Teams. There's several places we can actually host this. So what we'll look to do today is get the HTML for this bot and place it in our own web page. So what we need to do first is click on the Get Bot Embed Codes, and right here we get a HTML snippet of the bot, so we can embed it in our own page. So we'll go ahead and copy that to clipboard. Now I've just prepared a very basic page already, just with my Festive KB chatbot at the very top of the page. I'll just go ahead and paste that HTML snippet. So you can see it's creating an iframe. We have the source for the bot itself, and we have some basic information on the size just there. Now one thing we have as well is your secret here. So that's the thing we need to replace with our own secret to point it to our chatbot. So what we do is we go back to the portal, and if we click on web chat, great. So now we've got the information here. We can see secret keys. We'll show the first one. We'll go ahead and copy that and paste it into your secret here and save that. And then what we'll do is open up the page in the browser. Great. So we can see just the basic piece of text at the top. This is our page, and then we can see the bot's actually started the conversation with hello and welcome. So what we'll do is we'll just test this to make sure the bot's working as expected. So let's try what does Santa suffer from if he gets stuck in a chimney? Claustrophobia. Yeah, so I know what you're thinking. I've got a cool idea for an AI project or bot project. So before you get carried away, there are a few things to consider. Microsoft have created some really cool responsible AI resources, and it's really thinking about the ethics of AI and how to use it. And they've got these 6 principles showed on the screen. We won't go through them one by one, but they are things covering things like fairness, inclusiveness, taking accountability for the AI's decisions. Is really important stuff, and I'd highly recommend giving that a read. As well as that, Microsoft have also come up with 10 guidelines for bots themselves, very specific to bots. Again, we won't go through them all, but they can be things along the lines of making it clear to a user that they are actually chatting with a bot and not with a human. Being transparent with them that you're using bots, accepting responsibility for the bot itself. So again, there's more information at the link shown at the very top just there. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed it, feel free to share on social media using hashtag FestiveTechCalendar2021. Please do check out the other great content from the Festive Tech Calendar 2021 event at festivetechcalendar.com. Also, Festive Tech Calendar is raising money for Girls Who Code, which is a fantastic cause. And if you do wish, you can donate money using the link shown here. Every donation helps. If you want to reach out to me, my contact details are on screen now. And I hope you and your loved ones have a happy and healthy festive season. Bye for now.